This is Adam Gorney, Rivals.com, continuing our signing day coverage, now joined by Texas Tech coach Joey McGuire. And Joey, coming off the bowl win, headed right into signing day. What was that time like for you? Because you're doing bowl prep, but you're also making sure no one's flipping.
Yeah, it was crazy. December is a crazy month because you're talking about making sure you're signing all your high school recruits today, and then you've got the portal that opens up. You've got bowl prep. We went 6 days in a row of having official visits. Some of the guys that we got out of the portal, and so December has become a wild time in college football.
Do you like it? Do you wish it would change? Do you wish the calendar was either pushed up or back, or you just have to deal with it?
No, I like it. If it's going to go one way, I want to push it up. I don't want to push it back. I mean, today we're going to be able to – we signed our class and we're able to take a deep breath. And then you go out in January and you're really looking at 2025s. If you go back to the old calendar, I mean, you're still holding on to guys, trying to, keep them committed to you. And, somebody that misses on somebody in their class, now they're coming in trying to take one of your guys that's been committed to you for a long time. And so if anything, whenever it comes to high school recruiting, I'd rather push it up than move it back, and it's kind of one of the deals. It's, the nature of the game right now. I don't know when the best month would be because every month is going to be busy. You're either preparing for, regular season games or you're preparing for, bowl prep or whatever it is. So I would rather have a hectic month and then make January a little bit lighter than what it was, traditionally in the past.
I asked you 2 questions, but really all Texas Tech fans want to talk about is Michah Hudson. How special can he be as a player? But also walk me through the final months of his recruitment, because from our side, it seemed like he wanted to commit. He was going to commit. He didn't commit. How nervous were you? How confident were you? How did that all kind of play out down the stretch?
Well, he's a great one to talk about. Everybody talks about what kind of talent he has. He's one of the best just people I've ever been around. I mean, he's just such a genuine human being. So he committed to me, or committed to Texas Tech in June, and was going to wait to announce it. And I remember after we got beat by Oregon, he's pretty emotional, sad for us in my office after the game. And he goes, Coach, my plan was commit tonight. And, after the big win and everything, and we get beat right at the end of the game. And I was like, Micah, look, you've already told me that you're coming to Texas Tech, and I trust your word. So you just do it whenever you're ready for it. It doesn't bother me when you're going to do it publicly. And, later on that week, he gives me a call and he's like, hey, it's going to come out tonight at 7. And I was like, hey, it's up to you, man, whatever you want to do. Whenever it came out publicly, I mean, Red Raider Nation went nuts, and they should, because he's a special talent. I've been really lucky. I coached 23 years at the high school level. I was able to coach 98 Division I football players. So I've coached some really special athletes. And, I don't want to hype him too much, but I don't know if I've ever seen anybody like him. I mean, he's different. I think he's the best receiver in the country. I think he's as good as any player in the country coming out of this class, and if you watch his film and you can find somebody better, especially whenever you put all his measurables and his speed and what he's done on the track, what he's done in basketball, now it's kind of your opinion versus my opinion, or even your opinion, Adam, of like, who's the best receiver in the country, because you definitely can put him, in that topic of, who is the best. And I'm just glad he's a Red Raider.
Potentially throwing him the ball down the road is Will Hammond. And I remember at Elite 11 this past summer, I stood behind one of the receivers so I could kind of gauge the zip on the ball. And Will Hammond's ball just zings. I mean, it really flies. Throw for 35 touchdowns this year, but also ran for about 1,119 touchdowns. Is he a pocket guy, or are you going to kind of get him out and let him do his thing a little bit?
It was funny. I was talking to one of my buddies, and, they were asking me, they go like, some people evaluate him as a pro style guy. And I was like, well, they haven't watched enough film to see how well he can run, because whenever we looked at it, we considered him more of a dual threat quarterback. He has really good speed. He's got one thing I love about him. I mean, he's got a big arm. He can make all the throws, but his presence on the field, like he has a very good pocket presence. He doesn't panic. And then he has got a very unique ability to lead, even at a young age. I was talking to his head coach, and he said as a junior, he told the offense to get off the field one day in practice, walked over and talked to him and said, this is not the way we practiced, and then let them all back on the field. And you don't see that a lot, at the high school level, especially an underclassman being able to be such a leader. So we're pretty fired up about him.
Last year, you got 4 of 25 signees beyond the state of Texas. This year, none. Frequent flyer miles might be down, but that Texas pipeline, how important is that for you, especially with all the connections that you have through the state?
Yeah, it was huge. The one thing that I think we really hit on this year, and we had more last year, is we were able to really dip into the Houston area, and so we got 3 out of the Pearland area, 2 from Pearland Dawson and 1 from Pearland High. And then we were able to really get into Central Texas too. I mean, we got some guys, like Will Hammond and Cam Dickey, we got some guys out of that Central Texas area. And so that's one thing that's been good. 1, staying at home and recruiting the state of Texas, but 2, also, Tech has done such a good job in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. That's such a huge alumni base for us, but really to recruit the entire state and get into the Houston area has been a big part of the last 2 classes. And so fired up about, we'll go anywhere to find good players, but it's good to be able to recruit your own state and have such a great class.
Awesome. Go enjoy it. A top 25 class for Texas Tech coach Joey McGuire. Joey, thanks so much for joining us.
Man, thank you. Wreck 'em.